Welcome back to the channel. You already know Brooklyn Beast. So today we will be trying to get the water cool system running and make sure that the electronicals are right and making sure that we have the right flow in the same direction. So here I have a little Tactic 2.4 that I bought from the local hobby shop. It's a 3-channel, and here we have the battery, the ESC connected to the receiver, and the pump. And basically the way how it will be running the system is strictly off of the controller, off of the 3rd channel. So when I hit this button right here, you will hear the pump come on, as you can see. So that's how we will be running the water cool system. Now what I will be trying to complete today is try to see how effective this holding tank works. I think it holds about 2 ounces of water. We might not be using water. We actually might be using something from the water cool computer, that liquid. I think it might be a little bit better. I don't know exactly what type of heat it takes. I will look into that. But first and foremost, we want to make sure that this radiator is flowing right, and the direction that I want it to flow, everything is, basically flowing in the right direction. And I will be connected it into the head and just see how it is and see what type of pressure this pump actually produces. Brooklyn Beast. So here I have the holding tank hooked up, and what I will do is I will use the pump to actually pump some of the water inside, because the outlet is actually connected to the bottle. So I will dip it inside of the water and have the pump fill this up. As you can see, I'm about to let the water start picking up, and you can see that the tank is going to start to fill up. I think I'm pretty much full right here. As you can see, it's flowing very, very fast. So surprisingly, this pump actually pumps a lot of water very fast, faster than what I thought it was actually going to pump. It might actually work better than what I thought it actually was. I mean, it filled up this in like a couple of seconds, so I know that it will be able to circulate water and cool very fast by the way how it's processing. The only thing that's really going to matter is how much cooling this radiator is going to be able to produce. I don't know exactly the flow rate of this thing, of how effective this fan is going to work, but it's all test and it's all a build. You build and you try to find the kinks and you try to make it better. So now what I'm doing is actually switching the inlet from it pumping in to actually picking up, because this is actually the pickup right here. It has like a weighted nipple. You can't really see it, but it's actually right there that actually sits inside of the tank. And I'm going to switch it to the inlet so I can actually connect the other components. So here we have most of the setup complete, with the ESC, battery, receiver, water pump, the holding tank or reservoir, and the little mini radiator. Now we will check the flow to make sure that the tank, the pump, and the radiator is all working together, making sure that it's flowing in one direction. So I'm going to turn on the pump, and water should be exiting here to let it know that the water is coming out of the tank and flowing through the system and back out. So basically this end will actually be connected to one of these fittings to put the water back inside of the tank. So let's flip on the switch and see if we have any water flow. That'll let us know that our direction is right, and we have water flow. Now that we have water flow, we can actually connect the whole system, turn it on, and just see if everything is working out. And if it's too much pressure, a little water might be spraying out of the unclosed tap right there. So we're going to switch it on, and you can see the water is flowing. It's very hard to see on camera, but if I move the tank, oh man, this thing is kind of hard to see. But you can see the water moving in and out. It's very hard to see on camera, But you can see the water is moving. It's very hard to see, but it definitely is flowing. So now that we actually have the pump flowing, because it is flowing, it's flowing pretty good too. A little leakage here and there, but these fuel line is not actually new, so it is kind of loose. I actually have brand new fuel line right here where we zip tying everything. I did add in a switch because I noticed when you turn off the controller, the pump is still going. So this switch is going to control this ESC, and as you can see, it starts from here, battery to switch, ESC connected to the receiver, third channel. Then it goes, I don't know exactly what this is, it might be temperature control, and then we have the pump, holding tank, radiator. The next thing I will have to three-way in is the actual fan for the radiator, because I want everything, once that switch is turned on, I want everything to come on all at once. So here we have the system. I basically had to three-way in the fan by using this little three-way right here. I kind of got it just twisted right here, but it works. Everything is working. Flip on the switch real quick. You can see everything is working. You can hear it, the pump pumping, and you can see that the fan is spinning, and it's actually spinning at a decent RPM. I could punch my finger on it and it still would spin. So the system is actually working. So now the hard part is done and the easy part begins, where I just have to put together a chassis that's going to be suitable to support this. Started with the engine. Basically, we will have to cut the shaft because I will not be using a Syntex clutch in this type of setup. I will be using a standard crank basically, and I will have to cut this shaft so that it could basically work. But we flowing water. Brooklyn Beast.